What's up everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another daily deck tech video, and today we have another viewer request. Today's and tomorrow's will actually be viewer requests by the same person, and today we have ourselves Hope Estheim. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. I haven't played a lot of Final Fantasy, please correct me in the comments down below if I did not. So Hope is a 2/2 for a 2 with lifelink, and at the beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. So Hope is a life gain commander, Hope is a mill commander. Both of those things are historically kind of weak in Commander because life gain is not a win condition, and an opponent's commander can just deal 21 damage to you and end your day. And mill is not overly strong, and people get irrationally upset at mill, and so are likely to just end you. So we're combining two strategies that historically haven't been the strongest to try to make something pretty strong. We do have today the deck coming in at the low 300s. Again, that is always with use cheapest version on Moxfield here. For those of you who don't know where that is, up here by the more button, you can click here, and then you go down to update to cheapest. It'll be like, this cannot be undone, and then you do that, ta-da, right there, and then it says that it's updated. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. We're running 18 creatures today. Of course, a lot of these are going to be Soul Sisters, right? Some are utility, lots are Soul Sisters, and then we're going to have ways to generate tokens in the deck to gain us lots of life. We do have Archivist of Ogma in here, which has Flash, and whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain a life, draw a card. Overall, very strong card, especially in Commander, where people are always searching their libraries. We have Ariok Champion, protection from red and black, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life for double white. Daxos, his toughness is equal to your devotion to white, and whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain 1 life. We have Delny. Delny is probably the most expensive card in this deck. Delny needs lots of reprints. Delny was not this expensive 6 months ago, and now look at it. Creatures you control power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, and if an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So, you know, Hope is a 2, 1, 2, you know, 1 for your Guide of Souls. Speaking of which, Guide of Souls is whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life and get an energy. And then whenever you attack, you can pay 3 energy to put 2/1/1 counters, and a flying counter on target attacking creature becomes an angel in addition to its other types. We have Halia, Guided by Light, from Edge of Eternities. I actually really love this card and its art. It's whenever it or another creature or artifact you control enters, you gain 1 life, and at the beginning of your end step, draw a card if you've gained 3 or more life this turn. We have Hinterland Sanctifier. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1. We have Quain, which is each player may draw a card, and then each player who drew a card this way gains 1 life. We have Mangara, which is lifelink, and whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or planeswalkers you control, you get to draw a card. And whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, you get to draw a card. We have Nyx Fleece Ram, which is at the beginning of your upkeep, you just gain 1 life. It's got a big booty for blocking. It's a 0/5 for 2, not too bad. Resplendent Mentor, which gives white creatures you control have tap, you gain 1 life. We have Quain, which is one of my favorite cards in all of Magic. I also have a Quain heavy stacks deck where he's just out here gifting people things that they can't do anything with. He has tap. Each player may draw a card, then each player who drew a card gains 1 life. We got the sad robot in here, Solemn Simulacrum. Obviously, he's in here to fetch us a land and then also draw us a card when he dies, and I say when, not if. We have Soul's Attendant. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may gain 1 life. Soul Warden. Whenever another creature enters, you gain 1 life. Spark Double, so you can copy your Hope Estheim if you so choose, or any of your other fun creatures. We have Suture Priest, which is whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can gain 1 life. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you may have that player lose 1 life. So overall, pretty fun right there. We do have the Mind Skinner. The Mind Skinner can't be blocked. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent, prevent that damage, and each opponent mills that many cards. And then Windborn Muse, which is just a ghostly prison effect on a 2/3 body. For our sorceries, we have Chaplain's Blessing. It's just a 1-drop that gains you 5 life. Fumigate, Wrath, and then you gain life for each creature destroyed. Space-Time Anomaly. Target player mills cards equal to your life total. Storm Herd. Create X 1/1 white Pegasi token creature tokens with flying, where X is your life total. This card is old. This card is not very good anymore, but it is fun and it is splashy in decks like this. And if you can keep that life going up while not being an obvious threat, you can cast this and get yourself like a million little Pegasi. We have Tasha's Hideous Laughter. So each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they've exiled cards with total mana value 20 or more. I find that this card actually gets better the higher in brackets that you go, because the higher in brackets you go, the more mana efficient people are wanting their stuff to be, so the lower cost a lot of their stuff is. Very fun. I've milled somebody for almost half their deck with this card. We have Traumatized. Target player mills half their library, rounded down. And then Windswan's Twilight, which you gain X life and you create X colorless might artifact creature tokens with Toxic, and this creature can be blocked. If X is 5 or more, destroy all creatures. This is very important for timing. The gain X life goes off first. Then the creation of your tokens goes off first. And then the destroy effect checks. So, say you do this for 20 and you have 3 Soul Sister effects out there. You will gain 60 life off of the Soul Sister triggers before, or like, they will see the tokens enter, so you will gain the 60 life and then they will be destroyed. Instance, we have Absorb, counter a spell, gain 3 life. Aetherize, return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. This is really important because people are going to probably come at you because people get annoyed. We have Archive Trap. If an opponent searches your library this turn, you can pay 0. Target opponent mills 13 cards. This is actually really strong if somebody tutors. If somebody tutors, punish them for tutoring. If it's one of the tutors that puts something on top rather than in their hand. We have Congregate. Target player gains 2 life for each creature on the battlefield. We have Didn't Say Please, counter a spell, and then its controller mills the top 3 cards of their library. For removal, we do have Generous Gift. We do have Pongify. We have Swords to Plowshares. Somewhere in here, I think, is... No, I didn't put Path in here. Usually I put Path in here. You can if you want. But yeah. We have Heliod's Intervention. Destroy X target artifacts or enchantments, or target player gains twice X life. Honor of the Fallen. Remove all creature cards in all graveyards from the game. You gain a life for each creature removed this way. This is really good as both a graveyard hate piece and a life gain card. Light of Hope. You can gain 4 life, destroy target enchantment, or put a 1/1 counter on a creature. We have Negate. Everybody knows what Negate does. Revitalize. Gain 3 life, draw a card. Riot Control, you gain 1 life for each creature your opponents control. Prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn, so it saves you with a fog and gains you bunches of life. Sanguine Sacrament, you gain twice X life. Put a Sanguine Sacrament on the bottom of its owner's library. We have Sphinx Revelation. You get to draw X cards, gain X life. Thought Collapse, counter target spell. Its controller mills 3. And War Report. You gain life equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield, plus the number of artifacts on the battlefield. Yep. We have Aetherflux Reservoir in here, which is whenever you cast a spell, you gain a life. And then you can pay 50 to just shotgun someone for 50. This is also one of the more expensive cards in the deck. We have a very strange art, Hamaret's Archive. It's an artifact for 5, legendary. If you gain life, you gain twice that much life instead. And if you draw a card except for the first one you draw each of your draw steps, you draw 2 cards instead. We have Altar of the Brood. Whenever another permanent you control enters, each opponent mills a card. We have Fountain of Renewal. This one's super simple. It's a 1-drop artifact that gains a life during your upkeep. We have Mesmeric Orb, so whenever a permanent becomes untapped, that permanent's controller mills a card. It dropped a little bit in price, especially since we've gotten a reprint from a Secret Lair. Pearl and Sapphire Medallion to make things cheaper, and then the Water Crystal and Wind Crystal, which in a way are mana rocks because they cheapen your white and blue spells. The Water Crystal is if an opponent would mill one or more cards, they mill that many plus 4 instead, and then you can make them mill cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. And then Wind Crystal is if you gain twice that much life instead, and then creatures you control gain flying and lifelink till end of turn. Enchantments. We have a Johnny's Welcome in here, which is you gain a life for each when a creature enters under your control. Ashes to the Abhorrent. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or activated abilities of cards in graveyards, and whenever a creature dies, you gain 1 life. Authority of the Councils, their stuff enters tapped, and you gain a life. Cleric class, if you gain a life, you gain that much life plus 1. Ghostly Prison and Propaganda in here. There weren't quite enough enchantments for me to justify putting in Sphere of Safety, but believe me, if there's definitely cards I could drop to throw that in here as well. We have Griffin Avery, so at the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 2/2 white cat, or Griffin, sorry, with flying. Rest in peace. Exile all graveyards. If a token or card would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. Leyline of Hope. If you would gain a life, you gain that much plus 1. As long as you have at least 7 or more life than your starting total, creatures you control get +2/+2. And Memory Erosion. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. And then for our lands, nothing super fancy. We do have Adventurers Inn and Radiant Fountain to ETB gain us 2 life. And we do have a Reliquary Tower and a Blighted Step, which is you can sacrifice it to gain 2 life for each creature you control. But other than that, it's very simple, straightforward, and to the point. Let me know what you think of this deck in the comments down below. I really hope I did this justice. And if you want to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below. Also, if you already have a deck and want to see ways for it to improve, you can drop your Architect or Moxfield link in the comments down below, and I will go through that in a video and see what I can do to help fix it up. And if you have a deck that you think is just absolutely ballin', go ahead, drop its link in the comments down below, and I will very happily showcase it, let everybody know about your cool deck. But as always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.